Okay, so it's getting really close to summertime, so it's time to get the smokers out and the grills and get them all cleaned up and ready to go. And this one's actually my son's, and it's a Traeger Timberline 850. And I've got in this container a half of a fresh turkey breast, never frozen, that's been brining overnight. And I've actually got some B-roll footage I'll drop in and show you how I did it. And it just makes it a lot easier with a turkey breast because you don't need a big container and you can put it in your refrigerator. So anyhow, we'll get to that in a minute. Now, as I said, it's my son's Traeger Timberline 850, and I'm going to show you the app and how it works. You probably already know, but that'll be at the end of the video. I won't bore you with it during the middle. I will say this. I've got this configured a little different than most because I found out it would do it. This bottom rack, which normally sits right here, I've got in the middle because that's where we're doing all the cooking on it at. I've already cooked chickens and hamburgers and all. I just like the rack, the biggest rack where I'm going to be cooking, and that's where that's at. So when you see it, it's going to look a little confusing. The middle one's down there. I'll probably even take this one out. In fact, I know we will. I'll take it out now. But I'm about to get this started. I'm going to fire it up, and because I have a timer there, I want to see how long it takes to come to. I'm going to run it at 275 or 300, so somewhere in between there. I'm going to fire it up in a minute, run that timer, let you see how long it takes one of these to come up, and we're going to get this started. Y'all hang on. Okay, so as promised, I'm going to run a timer on the startup. I'll turn it on, just kind of give you an idea. This is just because I want to know, but I thought I'd put it in here for y'all. I've decided to run this cook this turkey breast at 285, and there we are. I press that and hit that. So we're off and running. I'm going to leave it up to make sure I get a little bit of smoke and let it go through its cycles and all and see how long it takes. Be back. Okay, so I like to leave the lid open for like the first 5 minutes just to make sure everything's doing like it should, and till I see a little bit of smoke. And I'm not sure you can see it, but I did, and I can feel a small amount of heat right there. So we're going to close the lid at the 5-minute mark. Okay, we are coming up on it right now. If I can get you, see we're 283. It's climbing really fast, and that happened at 20 minutes. So you can figure a 20-minute heat up time to 285. And I'll also say it's been raining here all day. This grill's been sitting here under, in the dry under this cover. I mean, under this covering, but no cover on it, just like it is. So no problem with the heat up time, if you ask me. And by the way, here's the turkey. I just got it out and got it rinsed off, and the turkey breast, or half of a breast. I'm about to put some Tony Sacheries on it, just on the outside, not going to inject or anything because I brined it. So let that kind of heat up for a while, soak in some heat, and then we'll put that turkey breast on. Okay, we've got about a 20-minute, heat up period going on. Here's the breast, and I'll show you. It may not be pretty because when they cut these breasts in half, you kind of lose the skin. That's the point, and it might come back and expose. The skin's not going to look great. It don't matter. It'll taste great. I sprayed it with a little ghee, both sides, and put Sacheries on both sides also. So I've already got the probes hooked up. I've got my meter in. We're sitting at 285, and it has been, if it's moved from that number, it might have been by 2 degrees over those last 20 minutes. So in goes, and I do have that probe wrong because they have a provision to run it through here. I'm just going to do that right quick, and this way it'll help. Maybe y'all remember it too. You're supposed to do it that way. And I'm also trying to pin down this skin using this probe, hopefully to where it won't, draw back so far. But I don't expect that to work. But I got to wash all this now for sure. But I got Clorox. I got Clorox cleaner. I'm going to touch that up where I kind of messed with it. Get this lid back down, and we are off and running. And as you can see, we're at the 41 minute. Maybe you can't see that. Well, I thought you could the whole time. But there you go. We're at 41 minutes since I turned the grill on. So now we're going to watch the temps. And be back in a minute. Okay, just for the record, if you have a Traeger, and I'm sure you probably know this, but other people might not, it has a provision or a hole right here with a little gasket on it to run your cable through, so you don't have to, you know, affect the way the lid lays. But there you go. Okay, we're at 154. I've got the probe set for 155. I'm a little, you know, curious to what it does when it hits the 155. I'm not sure you can see those numbers. I'm going to move it a little bit closer, but we are at 2 hours and 55 minutes. There it goes. All right, that's what it does. It beeps, and I'm going to see if it does anything like switch to keep warm. And this is just, you know, you may know this, but I don't, so I wanted to know. And it doesn't look like it, or it hasn't yet. I'm probably not going to continue to run because I want it to get to more like 160 before I remove it. I think if it gets to 160, the carryover will take it to 165. So, and I haven't opened this at all, but I'll bring you back when I do open it. Okay, so my meter probe is telling me to pull it. It's at 158, and I had a target of 160 because I feel carryover will take it to my 165. Now, unbelievably, the Traeger's calling it 158 too. I mean, they're identical. That just went to 159. I'm not sure you can see it on there. I have not raised this lid at any time, at any point during this cook. So I'm going to, just to make sure, I'm going to check it with my thermopen. But just so you know, this has not been, the lid hasn't been removed or opened, and I'm not sure what to expect here. Next time I may do a little higher temp, but no big deal. It took, well, I could show you, but it took about 2.5 hours on this turkey breast. But let's see what it looks like. Hey, it don't look bad. In fact, I'll show it to you before I even do anything with it. It doesn't look bad, no doubt. In fact, it looks better than I was expecting. I was a little concerned with it being in there that long. But I'm going to do a couple of checks. 157, there's a 155. I'm touching the bone right there at 154. And I'm going to let it go another, I don't know, a few degrees. So I'll just leave it at that. I may let it go to 162 on my internal there, then I'll pull it. Okay, we're at 162 by the meter, and for the record, by the Traeger, we are 163. So they're really close. Now, it does depend on where you have them probed. One other thing I'll say is you can tell how quiet that gasket and that insulated lid makes this device. It's just quiet. So anyhow, we're gonna move this to right here. I'm going to see if I can pull that out without burning my hand, and I might have to do something different. It's warm, but I survived it. We're going to take this in. I'm going to wrap it with some aluminum foil, but you can see. Let me get it in the frame. It looks good, but I'm not going to wrap it. I'm going to tint it and put a tint of aluminum foil over it for about, I don't know, 15 minutes. Let it rest out, and then we're going to slice it. I'll be back. Okay, we are inside with it. It's rested about 15, maybe 20 minutes, but we're about to cut it open and see just how it looks. 162, it just went from 164. It hit 164, and we're going to cut it. And I'm going to make a sandwich and eat it. But I just want to show y'all what it looks like. And I do want to cut it the right way. In fact, the skin did better than I was expecting. It looks good, and I got a feeling it's gonna be good. So I'm gonna pull this out just like that, and then we're gonna make a few slices right here. I'm gonna make one kind of, well, you know what? Let's just do it like this. There's one. And like I said, I'm making sandwiches from this because it's a smoked turkey, like almost a Cajun-like turkey. And as you can see, it looks good. I have a feeling it will be. And be careful not to knock it in the floor. Making sure everything's still visible to you. Let's look at this one. You can see where the probes were and all. And let's see. It is like almost all turkey breasts I cook, whether I air fry them, ever how you cook them, they're going to be good. I promise. It's an excellent thing to cook, and you can get an idea how many sandwiches or how many meals you would get off of that. And it's a bunch, especially for like 2, maybe 3 people, and you don't waste anything. So I didn't find anything I didn't get anything to wipe my hands off with. So now I do. But anyhow, there you go. There's a pellet smoked turkey breast. It took a little long. I might cook it. You know what? I'm not sure. I'm never in a hurry. You know, if you want it a little faster than that, which I think was around about 3 hours, which is a little long, maybe, but maybe not. Not in a hurry. Do it that way, low and slow. So, anyhow, hey, I love y'all all, every one of you. Y'all come back to see me. I'm gonna make a sandwich with some blue plate or some Dukes, and have me a Cajun smoked turkey breast sandwich that you just can't get anywhere except your house. Just like this. Y'all have a good night. Bye-bye. Okay, so this is the next step up with the virgin I'm doing this turkey breast on. And this is the 1300, if you may have it, as you can see. Or if you want to get it, Home Depot and Ace Hardware has it on sale. And it has stainless steel racks, and I tried this the other day, and these racks will also do the same thing the 850 does, which is you can put the bottom rack in the middle position if you care. But anyhow, now you know. You can get pretty deep on spending money on these pellets also if you're not careful. The Traeger hickory pellets for 20 pounds, right there it says 20 pounds, $19.95. Then of course I got the other kinds. I got signatures, and here's Pro. Now this is a little better deal because it's $24.98 and it's 30 pounds. But the thing is, it's oak, hickory, and cherry. Now I ain't saying that's bad, and I'll probably end up buying some of that before long, but I've always smoked on hickory, everything I've ever done. So I don't want to change anything up right now. I'm gonna get 2 bags of this for my new grill that I'm gonna load this up with, make sure that something goes in there for a while. Okay, so here's one of the recipes I'm doing on my pellet grills, and it's simple. That's a half a turkey breast, and it works fine. It's plenty for me and the wife, and we don't throw a lot away. But what I'm getting at is if you don't mind getting a little adventurous and changes things up, and believe me, I think it's well worth the time, is to turkey brine. So this calls for 2 cups for a gallon of water. Well, what I'm doing is because it's half a turkey breast, it'll fit in one of my smaller containers, and that way I can fill it up with water, and I use filtered water, and I'm just going to go as far as I need to cover it, and well, I'll show you about right there. Now I'm going to pull that turkey breast out. I'm going to pour it in here and measure it, because that way, if it's only a half a gallon, I'll only use whatever that comes to, a half a cup. I don't know what that is. That's not right. But anyhow, it's supposed to be 2 cups to 1 gallon. So if I use a half a gallon of water, I'll use 1 cup of brine. Common sense. And then there's plenty of brines on the market. Now, this is one I had, and I was going to use it. And then I remembered this one. And I like this one because it's in this container, and I can measure it out. But all I'm going to do is pour that one in here when I'm done. Getting too long here. Like I said, I'm fixing to pull that breast out of there. I'm going to put it in here, measure it, boil it, pour in my turkey brine, pour it back on here, and put it in the refrigerator overnight. Anyhow, I mean, after it cools down, all the normal stuff. You cool it down, you put ice on it, and all that stuff. Get it cool. Put it on your turkey, put it back in the refrigerator, and it's ready tomorrow. Okay, so it turned out to be exactly a half a gallon, so I used 1 cup. Now I'm going to, this came to a good roll. I'm going to cut it off, let it steep for just a little, for, I don't know, 10 minutes. And then I'm going to move it to right over here and set the whole pan right here in this water. And then I'll add ice because I want to get the temperature of this down to, you know, really low. You don't want to start cooking your turkey now. Now you know. Here's what I do, and I don't even have to do this anymore. I'm hoping that gets to like around 40, and it's not going to take long. It's dropping really fast. You can see the ice is in the water, but technically I won't have to do this anymore, and neither will you if you don't like, because that's a half a gallon of brine for a half of a turkey breast. And all you got to do is find a container similar to what I had, which was a 4-quart container that it will fit in. Mine's a Sterilite or Sterilite or something. Here's the same brand right here, and that's an 8-quart container. The one I'm using is a 4-quart. But anyhow, something that the turkey breast will fit in. But again, if you know you're going to do this same recipe, you just do this the night before and put this in the refrigerator and let it get to like 40 degrees, or whatever. And then you pour it over the turkey breast when you get ready to start brining it in your 4-quart container. And we have made it to below the danger zone, which is 40 degrees. And I never recommend, doing anything that might be somewhat dangerous. So I got mine to 39 degrees, and I'm about to pour that solution on this turkey breast right here that has been in the refrigerator the whole time I've been doing this and other things. And I'm going to put this lid on there, and then tomorrow I'll take it out and cook one of the best turkeys I think you'll ever have. It really adds something to it. Let me put it like that. It makes it moister. It tastes better when it's heated the next day and stuff. There's a lot of things I've found that it really helps with. It's worth doing, and adventurous, as I said. But anyhow, there you go. And I'm about to do all this, and I'll hopefully show you what it looks like when it's cooked. Okay, so I just wanted to show you a little bit about the app, because I said I would, and there it is. I mean, it's what you might expect. You can set a timer, of course. There's your probe. There's my probe temp. There's what I have it set for. There's my current temp of the chamber. What else? It's set to 285. You can actually put it, you can't read it for that X right there, but, well, yeah, you can. I can move it. You can actually take it to keep warm from here. You can do super smoke. You can shut it down. It's very useful to have on your grill. They offer you several names. I named this one John Smokerty because that just like the one I needed. And just so you'll know, it's showing 287 on that ambient, as a lot of them call it. I still say this is the ambient, and that's the chamber. But anyhow, if you notice what the meter's doing, it's saying well, you just about can't see that. It's saying it's 261 on the ambient or the chamber, and then internal 62. Now, I'm not trying to compare those because they could be anywhere. I got to take this call, so I'm gonna. You see it. You get the idea.